Conecuh sausage is a game day favorite and always great on the grill. Pick up a package your local grocer or visit the Conecuh gift shop in Evergreen, Alabama. Coming up, special guests and features, updates from around campus, a first word from Coach Freeze, a look around Auburn athletics, and a check of the day's action across college football. Featuring voice of the Tigers Andy Burcham, Jason Campbell, Will Herring, and Brad Law. Now, the host of the Tiger Tailgate Show, Paul Ellen.
In the Old West, there were some nefarious characters. The Clanton Gang, the Hole in the Wall Gang, and, of course, Governor Lepetamine. Eventually, they all faced justice from the likes of Wyatt Earp, Matt Dillon, and the Waco Kid. Well, now a new gang is trying to take over the West, the Fisher Crew with gunslinger Robert Petrino. But there's a new sheriff in town. Hugh Freeze and his posse are here, and we are set for a Welborn Road shootout at high noon, or maybe a little earlier. Hello again, everyone. War Eagle, and welcome to another Saturday of Auburn Tiger football. No team in college football has recruited at a higher level the last 5 years than Texas A&M. But results have not equaled talent or expectations. Today, the Aggies open SEC competition against an Auburn program that has won 4 out of 5 meetings here at Kyle Field. It's the SEC opener for Auburn as well. The Tigers trying for their 4th straight win under their new leader. And now it's time for the first word from the Auburn locker room. Here's Andy Burcham with Coach Hugh Freeze.
How do you replicate or how do you prepare for the heat that we're going to see today? It's supposed to be upper 90s here today.
Well, if our kids are waiting to prepare now, we've failed. So we should have been hydrating all week. We saw the weather report and our nutritionists and strength staff and position coaches, but ultimately, we're not with them 24 hours a day, and you know the competitive maturity that you want in a program, you hope gets to a point where that's part of their standard of operation, of preparing myself, and we'll find that out. This is the first trip we've been limited on the number we could bring. That will play into it, and hopefully we've done a good job of preparing ourselves.
Listen for Andy's complete conversation with Coach Freeze 30 minutes prior to kickoff, presented by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. Well, heat is a factor here. It's been kind of nice in the southeast the last couple of weeks, but that is not the case in Texas, particularly central Texas. It's going to hit 97 degrees sometime today, although, Andy, when we look at the weather forecast, it may be a blessing that this is an 11 o'clock kickoff local time, because the heat's not supposed to get into the 90s until around the fourth quarter.
Well, we got Will in shorts today on the sideline.
Yes,
so
sir.
That is good, and I'm glad we made that decision. Here's my concern with regard to the heat, because it goes also to the depth. And you heard Coach Freeze talk about the fact that you can only bring 70 players here. And you've got at least 3 guys that we don't know their condition at this point. Nehemiah Pritchett, who has yet to play a snap for Auburn at cornerback, and then Cam Stutz and Tutal Miller on the right side of the offensive line. Both of those guys went out last week. How effective will they be today? And if they're not, Will, that also plays into a depth of a roster that's down to 70 on the road in the Southeastern Conference.
Absolutely, Andy. We've hit on the heat and trying to prepare for a team that when I look at A&M on film, their speed, their size jumps out to me. And so, just like every other task during the season, physicality, staying fresh, keeping guys fresh. These guys up front, I've said all week going into it, the most physical team is going to win this football game, and we've got some guys, some question marks on the front 5 on our big guys up front. So it'll be interesting to see who they roll out.
Yeah, just piggyback off what Will was saying. Depth is a key. That in a game like this, but for me today, depth is going to be a key for my eyes. We're sitting a mile high up here in the A&M Stadium. So
we're on the 8th floor.
Yeah, I got to make sure the heat wave doesn't get us. But I think for this football team, though, like Coach Freeze said, we are limited number-wise how many you can take on the road now in the SEC. So the advantage kind of leans towards A&M in that aspect as far as being home. But the key for us, we do have depth at the receiver position. We do have depth at the running back position. Those positions that do a lot of running. Now, our offensive line, that's why we went out and added guys this offseason. We have depth there. So we have depth on the offensive side of the ball to withstand a lot of this heat. But today, defensively, we got to be able to stop a balanced offense. How do you do that in this type of heat?
Yeah, I think it starts with dominating the line of scrimmage. And Andy and I talked about on the plane ride over. We've got to get first downs. We've got to move the ball. We've got to win the field possession battle. We've got to do a better job of protecting the football so that our defense isn't called to step up time after time after time. They showed tremendous resiliency this year. And in that game down over in California, what a tremendous just statement they made. This is a much better football team. This is a much more hostile environment. So we're gonna have to call on the offense today to move the ball, obviously score points. We've got to stay balanced. And last week, just showing our Thorne showing his ability to run the football and to make them respect the quarterback run as well. I look at I'm interested to see how that carries over into this week.
We haven't seen an offense like we're going to see from Texas A&M today so far this season. Now we're going to see really good offenses the remainder of this year, but we haven't seen a passing attack, Connor Wigman and the 4 outstanding receivers for A&M that we will see here this afternoon. That is one concern for me because this team he has over 300 yards a game passing. He's accounting for about 330 yards a game total offense per ball game, and he has only 2 picks, 8 touchdowns and only 2 picks. And it is something that Auburn is going to have to contend with today. And can Auburn put some pressure? I don't know if it necessarily needs to get to the quarterback, but this is an offense in A&M that while it hasn't given up a lot of sacks, it has given up a ton of pressure. So they've been able at least to affect Connor Wigman to a certain degree, but he has been outstanding, Jason, all season long, even in the loss at Miami.
Yeah, Connor Wigman is a guy he's a sophomore. He stands tall with a statue. He got a strong arm. He can kind of beat you a little bit with the run game. But what Miami did was, they pinned their ears back and they went after him. And that was the difference in that ball game is the pressure that they was able to put on him makes him get rid of the football a lot sooner than he wants to. He wants to push the ball down the field to Smith and Evan Stewart. But at the same time, these guys understand that if you give him time in a Petrino offense, it can stretch the field. So I just feel like for this offense, I played under Coach Petrino before. I understand a lot of what he wants to do from a first 15 play standpoint is you got to be prepared defensively to be ready for every aspect and defend the whole field in that first 15. And defensively for us, not having Keontae Scott today, that's a big question mark. Who fills that star position on the nickel? Is Donovan Kaufman? Do you move J.D. Rim in there? Do you move around some of these other guys to help this defense in that position? Because he was not just a cover guy. He was a blitzer as well that we use out of the slot. So, missing him. But I feel like this team, to win today, for me defensively, I feel like you have to make them one-dimensional and put pressure on the quarterback. So, Paul, you've been around this game for a long time. You've seen this Auburn football team over the spring and summer. How do you feel about this game today?
I want to go back to something you said earlier and something Coach Freeze alluded to, and that is limited travel. You can bring 70, but really when you get down to it, we know it's going to be hot. We know depth will be a factor. Once you get past 50 or 55, from yours and Will's standpoint of traveling with a team, how much is it really a factor when you get past that top 50 or 55?
Paul, and Jason, you spent some time in the league as well. We had 53 guys on the roster. You had 8 or 9 practice squad guys that obviously didn't play. And of those 53, there was 2 or 3 that were not allowed to dress out. So what do we dress, 50 in the league, Jason?
53, and then 46 could only dress.
Right. So 70 is a lot less than 110 or however many dress at home. But I think 70 is enough. If these guys have prepared and they've taken care of their bodies, they've hydrated, 70 is enough. And if we're reaching down to the cookie jar deeper than that, we're in trouble.
Well, let's just be honest. Most of these guys, 53 men make a roster in the NFL. 46 can only dress on game day.
Right.
So you're talking about, offense and defense. A lot of those guys play special teams and they play defense or offense. So in this game today, a lot of our guys will play special teams. You look at Brian Battie. Who's going to step up in Keontae's punt return role? You know, that's a big question mark.
We'll be watching that in the pregame warm-ups today.
Yeah, so is it Jalen Simpson or is it Brian Batiste? So we'll find a lot of things out today about our football team. This is our biggest challenge and test to today.
Both for both teams. We'll find out a lot as well. Well, guys, I got some news for you. It is buttery, it's flaky, and it's perfectly spicy, and it's finally back or here if you've never tried one. The Whataburger Jalapeno Cheddar Biscuit is available at participating locations. Try it alone or in a biscuit sandwich, or try it with company if you want to. Served 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. The Whataburger Jalapeno Cheddar Biscuit. Give it a try. And what's on the menu from Whataburger today? Well, we've got some special guests coming up for you. Sammie Coates, you'll remember what he did here in 2013 to set a tone early on an early touchdown drive in one of Auburn's biggest wins of the last decade. Ryan Davis, Auburn's all-time leading receiver. Benji Roland will join us as well from those great Pat Dye defenses, and Chris Heacox from the Goose Performing Arts Center. All those coming up on the Tiger Tailgate Show, and that's when the Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Conecuh sausage is a fan favorite for tailgating, always great on the grill, and it's the official sausage dog and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Conecuh sausage is made from the finest cuts of pork, their patented blend of seasonings, and smoked over a pure hickory fire for that true Southern flavor. Be sure to visit the Conecuh Gift Shop in Evergreen, Alabama, right off I-65 at exit 96. Enjoy a crowd. It's 1947, a real winner.
Damaging an underground utility can cause a lot more problems than you think. By causing a potentially avoidable damage to underground utilities, there's many scenarios that do not end well. To keep the gas, power, water, and internet running, using 811 to have your underground utilities marked is a critical piece of the damage prevention process, whether you're a homeowner or an excavator. It's free, it's simple, and it's the law. Visit al811.com for more information.
When you live in SEC country, you feel it everywhere you go. The traditions and rivalries surround you. As much as you celebrate the game, Region celebrates your financial wins even more. And like SEC fans, we'll never quit. Because in an SEC world, we're the SEC Bank. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC.
Saturdays in the South mean football and outdoor projects. And when it comes to outdoor projects, nothing beats quality John Deere equipment from a team you can depend on. That's why we trust Sun South, where owning the best equipment made is easy and affordable, whether you're working on your lawn, camp, farm, job site, or even ball field. For all your outdoor equipment needs, visit Sun South with 21 convenient locations, or shop online at sunsouth.com. Sun South, equipment for those that do. Sun South is the preferred tractor dealer of the Auburn Tigers.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
If you follow Auburn Sports Network or Auburn Sports Properties on Twitter, you know that our Friday night meal is very, very important to us. I'm back with Andy Burcham, and you may have seen last night, our crew dinner last night was heavy on red, and we're talking about red meat. Andy, quite a dinner. Some cows died in vain, or maybe not in vain, to serve our dinner last night, and we enjoyed it.
Well, it was a menagerie of the barnyard last night because where we went to Cooper's Old Time Pit Barbecue. They had sausage, brisket, pork ribs, beef ribs. They even had goat. I don't think anyone in our group had goat. We had turkey. We had chicken last night. I tweeted out a picture of the pit, and it's fabulous. It is apparently the original is in Llano, Texas. This is a bit of a chain, but man, it was a good meal. Really good meal last night. Will Herring had one of the beef ribs, and it was delicious.
Yeah, he gnawed on that thing for about 90 minutes. It was quite that Friday night dinner. For the terms of crew chemistry is really an important time for us.
All the way back to when Jim Fife and Rod Bramblett were with us. I mean, that Friday night meal is strategic. There's a little pressure where we're going, a little pressure on the person that picks the meal. And it was very, very good last night.
It was indeed. So we enjoyed it. We enjoyed a little red meat in Texas. We are in Texas, Auburn and Texas A&M. First SEC game for both of these teams as we count it down to kickoff at Kyle Field. Over 100,000 strong will be there this afternoon. First hour of the Tiger Tailgate Show brought to you by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Auburn Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. This is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfly.
Presenting the all-new Aubie's Kids Club. Benefits include an exclusive Aubie-branded swag box or bag, t-shirt, membership card, access to exclusive Kids Club events, as well as free admission to non-conference baseball, softball, and women's basketball games. Members also get a monthly newsletter from Aubie, a special invitation to Aubie's birthday party, and a personalized birthday card. 2 membership options are available. Learn more and register at aubieskidsclub.com.
War Eagle, it's a great day for Auburn Tigers to get vaccinated. Many children and adults that delayed vaccinations during the pandemic are still behind schedule. It's crucial that we take steps to get everyone back on track with their routine immunizations. Children and teens can still catch up on their vaccinations even if they start late. Make sure you and your family are all up to date on all recommended vaccines, including COVID-19 and flu. Let's all do our part to get back on track. Don't wait. Vaccinate. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
Hey parents and kids, it's a perfect time for students to read their way to the Iron Bowl in AEA's Be a Champion and Read contest.
AEA wants to help K through 6th grade students to be academic champions, just like the Auburn Tigers.
Students who participate in the Be a Champion and Read challenge could win 3 tickets to the Iron Bowl and a chance to take the field on game day. Ask your teacher about contest rules.
Encourage your child to be an AEA champion reader and win a trip to the Iron Bowl.
How are you the ultimate Auburn fan?
Because I got this air horn installed in my throat. Pretty sick, right?
Yes, you look really sick. What doctor would even do this?
Doctor? I did this myself. I mean, I can't swallow whole food, but still.
Wait, what?
Just gotta plow through it. Hey, can I get a couple of soups up here? What about some chamomile tea? Don't be that guy. Get a fan card. The smart way to be the ultimate Tigers fan. Just go to auburncards.com.
It is shaping up to be a beautiful morning, although a very hot afternoon here at East Central Texas as we get ready for Auburn against Texas A&M. Now here's Andy Burcham with a very special guest.
Well, thank you very much. Really glad to talk, and we get to do this just about every year on the Tiger Tailgate Show. We talk with Chris Heacox, who is the executive director for the Gouge Performing Arts Center, and we were just talking the lineup this season offers so much to so many. I mean, traditional Broadway, dance, symphony, but country and comedy. It's a wide range of offerings for the Gouge this coming season.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Andy. Yeah, we're really excited about this season. We take a lot of feedback from our patrons. What do they want to see? And then also, to be really honest, the artists want to come and play in Auburn. They've heard about our venue. Word of mouth has gotten out the last few years. We have such a great space and such great patrons. These artists want to come and play for us here.
What kind of reaction do you get for folks that are coming in and seeing the Gouge for the first time?
They come in and see it and say, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, really, acoustically, the beauty of the space, how nice the dressing rooms, just everything that we have to offer is really a game changer for our community and for our campus.
The Gouge Performing Arts Center is a sponsor this year on The Masked Singer at Jordan-Hare, and that's a huge hit. Folks really enjoy that.
I know. When they came to us and said, hey, we've got an idea, I mean, it was a no-brainer. I mean, I know you all get to see it every single week, and to have those players on our stage.
So they're there.
Oh, yeah.
They come to you.
They came to us.
Okay.
They come to us, and they record it and sing on stage, and I think that's just a perfect marriage for us every single year. Hopefully this continues every year.
It's a great partnership with the Auburn Sports Network, the Gouge Performing Arts Center, and War Eagle Productions, because they're the ones that are putting the feature together
right,
as well.
Exactly. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Let's talk about some of the folks that'll be coming in. As mentioned, it is a wide range of folks that'll be coming in. And right off the bat, you've got country coming in.
Yeah, I mean, really excited. We've got Chris Jansen coming in next week on Thursday night. Chris is an amazing Opry member who tours all over the place. I had a really great fortune of actually seeing him at the Opry a few years ago and knew that we had to bring him here to the Goose Center. You know, the country series is a new thing for us. We've always had country music on the series, but we wanted to separate it and have a big country series. So Chris Jansen, we had Lori Morgan and Pam Tillis a few weeks ago, bringing Easton Corbin here, who we're really excited about, and then also Craig Morgan and his tour. So bringing those country shows here in the fall so that our audiences have a great opportunity to see them Thursday nights before football games.
All right. The Broadway series with some classics, including My Fair Lady.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up. Also, and we already have our tickets. And my wife said, I don't care if you're in town or out of town, we're going to see To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, I mean, I will tell the audience this. The minute that To Kill a Mockingbird decided to go on tour, because I was fortunate enough to see it in previews in New York, I knew we needed to bring it here. And so I've been pushing the producers for the last 2 years to get it here. We finally got our dates, and we're really thrilled that Richard Thomas is staying on the lead and is going to be on this tour. So really a great opportunity to see an A-list, a great actor in that role here at the Goose Center.
And those tickets are going quickly.
They're very quick. Our Broadway series is really flying off the shelf. So if you want tickets to see Come From Away or Mean Girls, Mean Girls is in the fall this year. My Fair Lady or To Kill a Mockingbird, let's get on goosecenter.auburn.edu quickly.
All right. How are your acts selected?
So I do most of the booking in consultation with our staff, but also we listen to our patrons. I mean, I have an open door policy. I get emails, texts, phone calls all the time about, you know, things that people want to see, things that people saw other places. And then the other thing we do is we go out and we see these performances. I'll either send staff or I'll go myself to see things.
You scout.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're out there scouting just like our athletic department's out there scouting. We have to do that. I mean, we need to know what these performances look like, how audiences react to them, and then we bring them here to Auburn.
All right. Again, how can folks go about purchasing tickets for all of the terrific events that are coming to the Goose Performing Arts Center?
Yeah, go to our website, gougecenter.auburn.edu. You can always call our box office, which is 334-844-TIXS, to get hold of one of our great patron services. Staff, and our box office is open Tuesday through Friday as well. Stop on by the Goose Center at 910 South College Street.
And you're going year-round because you've got the summer months, the Bill and Carol Ham auditorium, the outdoor auditorium that are used throughout the summer months as well.
Yeah, and the summer's great because we throw up our LED board and we have free summer movies, a lot of Disney movies, great families coming out, food trucks, activities for families. We do shows as well during the summer. We're year-round.
Yeah.
The series is really, during that kind of August, September through June, but, we're a year-round facility.
Thank you for the visit today. We certainly appreciate the partnership with the Goose Performing Arts Center.
Thanks, Andy, and War Eagle.
War Eagle. Chris Heacox with the Goose Performing Arts Center. Paul, back to you.
All right, thank you, Andy. What a great lineup they have coming up year-round, as you heard Andy say, so get those tickets now. Hey, a reminder, the Picks for Kids program is back for its 12th season. Chick-fil-A is donating $1,000 to Children's of Alabama for every interception by the Tigers. The Picks for Kids program benefits nearly 2,000 kids each month in the Hearing and Speech Center at Children's. War Eagle, and eat more chicken. Stay with us. The Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Hey y'all, this is Ronte, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich is the pimento cheese. I was like, go cheese, go pimento, go honey, go get it.
Hi, this is Chantrice, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich is the mild spiciness of the pickled jalapenos. No, it's the crispy chicken. Actually, I can't decide. It's the entire sandwich.
Order the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
Yellowwood knows that a five-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like roasting marshmallows on a cool fall night. That's it. Turn it nice and slow. Get it toasted all Oh, no, it's on fire. Oh, you want it on fire. Okay, that's a choice, I guess. Crunchy. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Andy Burcham here to tell you about our friends over at Truckworks, the official commercial truck dealer of the Auburn Tigers. Truckworks is Alabama's exclusive Kenworth, Hino, and Isuzu commercial truck dealer, and the Southeast headquarters for dump trucks, sleeper trucks, box vans, and everything in between. Step into their TRP parts store in Opelika for all your commercial truck, trailer, and bus parts needs. Truckworks, the partner you can count on in the transportation industry since 1978.
There's a new feeling on the Plains this year. New coach, new staff, new players. Because Auburn knows that if you want to be the best, you've got to hire the best. I'm Kenny Mullins for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613, Auburn's electricians. We train our members to become the top 1% of electrical workers anywhere. It's why we are the best electricians in the world and why we would like to work on your next new electrical project. If you want to be the best, hire the best. Hire IBEW electricians. Learn more at IBEW613.org. War Eagle.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
First big weekend across the nation of great matchups, and they extend to all of the viewing windows and listening windows. We hope you'll be with us in this SEC opener for Texas A&M and Auburn. Other big games, though. Clemson at home against number 4 Florida State. That will be a huge game. Clemson already with a loss to Duke. Oklahoma and Cincinnati, a Big 12 matchup in Cincinnati. The Sooners ranked number 16. It'll be their only conference matchup there. And, of course, later on in the mid-afternoon, 19th ranked Colorado will be at Autzen Stadium up in Eugene to face number 10 Oregon. Both those teams are undefeated, both of them high scoring. We'll see how that one comes out. Number 22 UCLA against number 11 Utah. That's in Utah. Again, a matchup of 2 undefeated teams, a Pac-12 matchup, and that'll be a big one. Also in the SEC in the mid to late afternoon, it'll be 15th ranked Ole Miss against number 13 Alabama. Both teams with a lot on the line there. Number 20 Miami tries to keep things rolling. They'll face Temple in Philadelphia later on this afternoon. And then we get to the evening segment, Arkansas against number 12 LSU down in Baton Rouge. Both those teams with a loss already. It'll be the Pac-2 championship game, kind of coming early this year. 14th ranked Oregon State against number 21 Washington State. Somebody's going to take home the first trophy of the year in that one. The only 2 teams left in that league. Big matchups across the country in all the viewing windows today. The first hour of the Tiger Tailgate Show brought to you by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Auburn Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. This is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfly.
Children's of Alabama reminds you that every child's head injury should be treated like a serious injury until a doctor says it's not. In fact, the CDC estimates some 4 million sports and recreation-related concussions occur each year. Even a minor fall or collision may be a concern. Symptoms typically include headaches, unsteadiness, confusion, or sleepiness. To find out what to do in case of a suspected concussion, visit childrensal.org/concussion and always dial 911 in case of an emergency.
It's the classic dilemma at Whataburger. You pick up your all-time favorite patty melt with 2 fresh all-beef patties, melted Monterey Jack cheese, grilled onions, and creamy pepper sauce. And just when you're about to dig into Whataburger's take on this delicious all-time classic, someone utters the dreaded words.
Can I have a bite?
Should you? Shouldn't you? Maybe you should just take a big bite so you don't have to answer. Ooh, glad that dilemma's over. The Whataburger patty melt, just like you like it. Order online to earn rewards.
War Eagle, it's a great day for Auburn Tigers to get vaccinated. Many children and adults that delayed vaccinations during the pandemic are still behind schedule. It's crucial that we take steps to get everyone back on track with their routine immunizations. Children and teens can still catch up on their vaccinations even if they start late. Make sure you and your family are all up to date on all recommended vaccines, including COVID-19 and flu. Let's all do our part to get back on track. Don't wait. Vaccinate. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
The game has changed, and the future of Auburn athletics now demands a strong NIL program.
I'm Jason Campbell. Let's come together, Auburn family, and make a lasting impact. Visit OnToVictory.com. Every dollar you contribute to On to Victory helps create NIL opportunities for our student athletes. Visit www.ontovictory.com and be a part of changing the game for Auburn athletics.
Welcome you back to sunny Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. If you are looking for an easy, seamless transition to Auburn University, consider Southern Union State Community College. Conveniently located just a few miles from Auburn, Southern Union offers classes that easily transfer to the university. Endless opportunities are right up the road. Brad Law, Jason Campbell, Will Herring, and we're going to talk a little more defense now with one of the greats to play at Auburn. Jason's got a linebacker and now a defensive lineman bearing down on him as we welcome in the All-American, Benji Roland. Benji, War Eagle, good morning to you.
War Eagle to you guys, and hopefully we come out with a big victory today.
Yes, sir. This is let's talk about this team first, Benji. The defensive lineman, the way this team has played defense through the first 3 games of the season. What do you see out of this group of Tigers?
Well, anytime you're around coaches, they talk about winning in, the 3 phases of the game, offensive, defensive, special team. And this group, what I've seen is how they're getting things done on 3rd down. And that's key when you're playing defense, is getting off the field on 3rd down. And, I think that if you look at our stats, we're 5th in the football poll, 5th on the stat book, with only giving up, like 10 or 41 attempts on 3rd down, and that's huge when you can get off the field. And then turnovers is a key. Every time you play somebody, you want to turn the football over, and I think that's what Auburn's defense is doing right now, is creating turnovers and getting to the passer a little bit better. And it's only going to get tougher as we get down to the stretch of our toughest schedule.
Hey, Benji, this is Jason Campbell. Brad Law made the common rule. He broke the common law rule, and that is he did not ask a big man what did he eat for breakfast this morning before he started asking football questions. So before I ask you my first football question, what did you have this morning for breakfast?
I had a good cup of coffee, Jason, with some little quarterbacks in it.
There you go. That's what I want to hear. See, those big guys like to eat, man. He got to feed you up, get you full first. Benji, when you talk about this, you played on some.
I ate enough last night at Botanic.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go. We had a beef for ribs yesterday. But, before I get to my question, though, well, this is my question. You played with some great guys, Andre Bruce, Quentin Riggins. Back in the 80s, you guys had a dynamic defense. And what's the key ingredients to making a defense great?
Well, I think you have to play with the same heartbeat, and that's what Coach Dye instilled in us and Wayne Hall and all our defensive coaches. I think you just have to take it as you're the better person that you're going to line up across from, and it's a mental thing. Jason, when we played, the game was a little different back then than it was now. We tried to make teams one-dimensional, and once we made them one-dimensional, we felt like we had the advantage. And we didn't do a lot of pressure because we could get pressure with our front 4, maybe bring one more, bring 5, but our key was to get to the quarterback, and if we didn't sack him, we wanted to knock him down and let him know that we were going to be there each and every play. And I think that's key for a defensive front, is when you can rush 3, 4, sometimes 5 and get pressure, and that's what we tried to do. And it's a mental thing, it's how hard you want to fight, because a lot of times you're going to get doubled if you rush 4. You're going to get double teamed because they've got an extra guy to block 4. And so that's what we tried to do, is just make teams one-dimensional. And to be honest, we just fight our guts out.
Benji, Will Herring here. How you doing this morning, buddy?
I'm doing great, Will.
Great. Listen, Benji, you played – remind me the years you played under Coach Pat Dye.
I was there from 85 to 88. I was a true freshman in 85.
Okay.
So I didn't have the opportunity to get redshirted. Probably needed to be redshirted because I wasn't strong enough to play at this caliber, but those were my years I was here.
So, Benji, in your time at Auburn, I'm just curious. I'm thinking back time to Jason in my years, an early season road game. as far as identity, I don't think this team knows who they are. They're continuing to learn who we are. And I think back to our 04 season when we went on the road to Tennessee into a hostile environment. We didn't know how good we were. I don't think anybody did. This team is still learning who they are. I'm just curious, do you have any road games that stand out to you early in the season where you walked away a different team than you were when you walked into the stadium?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was my first year, my freshman year, and I was young. And, as a freshman, Will, you don't know what all has gone on because you've got guys that have laid the foundation for you for the first 3 or 4 years of their career. They're on the back end of their career.
Yes,
but
sir.
we go into Tennessee, and, we're ranked pretty high up. Tennessee has the quarterback, Robinson at quarterback. They
Right.
have Willie Gauld out at wide receiver and all. And I think that we were our first test on the road, and we walked away from there being really just, they whipped our fanny 38-20, I believe, what the final was. And that was even though, you think, well, how did you learn from that? Well, we learned that we weren't as good as we thought we were. We had to go, we're going to play better teams, and everybody's going to get better each and every week down the schedule. And I think that was a learning lesson to us that we needed to go back to work, and we need to work extra hard, that we just couldn't go up there and show up and think that we were going to be, because we had that AU on the side of our helmet, that we were going to be successful. And I think that's today's team today. What reminds me of this team today is that, in the past, in which I think is very good, and Coach Freeze and his staff have done a hell of a job, is that we're getting our name back out there. We're trying to build our identity back because we're not feared by some of the other schools. And, when we used to play Mississippi, all that was not a big game. Now it's a huge game. Arkansas is a huge game.
Right.
Mississippi State, because they don't fear us like they used to. And I think we're trying to get that identity back where, look, it's going to be for 4 quarters. It's going to be a bloodbath, and it's going to be people knocking, snot and spit out of your mouth.
Amen. Amen.
Tell you what, Benji Roland getting us fired up here in the booth, the All-American defensive lineman. Benji, I feel like your generation could have played on the surface of the sun and not paid any attention to it. You wouldn't have complained about the heat. With that said, those guys are going to be battling temperatures in the 90s today, and we're not acting like it's not hot in Auburn. A month ago, it felt like this, but those big guys up front, and you gotta stop and start the motor every single play. What are those guys going to have to deal with and kind of push through today out there as they battle those big guys for Texas A&M?
Well, I think that's where you start with Coach Freeze and his staff. I think that you have to, and we're trying to get there. We're trying to build our depth, and I know we haven't recruited well in the last 3 or 4, 5, maybe years, and A&M has. They've been a top 5, a top 10 recruiting class, so they have probably a lot better depth than we do. So they can roll those guys in, and that's what you're going to have to do at Auburn. You're going to have to find some type of depth and be on a 5 or 6 play rotation where we can keep them fresh, and you got a little tank in your gas for the 4th quarter. Because, like you said, and I'll be honest with you, fatigue is only in the brain. You're as tired as your brain lets you believe you're tired. And if you can just go out there and fight through it, and you rotate those guys in, and some of the guys, the younger guys, if they can spell some of the starters 5, 10 plays a game, that helps them throughout the game to have a little gas left in the 4th quarter.
Really good stuff. Hey, 30 seconds or less, Benji, do you remember the hottest game you played in?
It was probably on old artificial turf where the field was probably 110. It's probably that Tennessee game early in September, when the temperatures, on the outside was 85 and the field was 185 because of that slab of turf down there. So.
Yeah. All right. Really good stuff, Benji. We appreciate your time very much. We always enjoy catching up with you, and hope you enjoy the game today. War Eagle.
I hope so. Hey, a little tidbit. My wife woke up at 5 to get up water, and she said, hey, it's going to be a good day. And I said, why? She said, the sky's orange and blue here in Auburn. So hopefully that's a great sign that we can pull out a victory on a hard test today at Texas A&M.
Good things from back home. Love it. All right. Thank you, Benji. We'll talk to you again down the road. War Eagle.
War Eagle, bud.
War Eagle.
All right.
Thank you. War Eagle, guys.
One of the great defensive linemen, All-American Benji Roland, our guest here on the Tiger Tailgate Show. 2-minute drill and then game picks. Not so hot last week. Not so hot. We got some guys trying to make up some ground. You've got the lead. Yes. We'll talk more about it when the Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like cookouts. Cornhole with friends. Ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad. The one with the feta. Oh, sorry. Or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps are memories. I love naps. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
How Far Do They Drive is presented by your local Toyota dealer. No matter your destination, Toyota goes with you. Last week against Samford, Auburn led 7-0 in the second quarter. Jalen Simpson intercepted his third pass of the season and gave the Tigers great field position at the Bulldogs' 22-yard line. On the first play, Jarquez Hunter sprang a 9-yard run into the red zone. A holding penalty and 2 more Jarquez carries later, the ball was at the 5.
Thorne from the gun. Thorne will throw. Looks up the middle. Thorne's going to run it. He's at the 2. He's in! Peyton Thorne for the touchdown run for Auburn.
The first of 2 rushing touchdowns for the Auburn quarterback gave the Tigers a 14-0 lead. The drive covered 22 yards in 6 plays and helped propel the Tigers to a 45-13 homecoming victory. Visit your local Toyota dealers or explore Toyota.com today. Toyota, let's go places.
What widens the eyes, tightens the stomach, and flutters the heart. Adrenaline. Feel it for yourself in the Toyota RAV4, Camry, Corolla, and Tacoma. Get 2.9% APR for 36 months on a new 2023 Toyota RAV4. Toyota, let's go places. Offer valid through October 3rd, 2023. $0 down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $29.04 monthly payment for $1,000 financed. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
It is the SEC opener, and we're going to talk things over with Jason Campbell now. We're talking about Peyton Thorne. The 2 home games this year, the 2 games against UMass and Samford, he's gotten off to pretty good starts. Both of those games have opened with a pass. Auburn started with a run against Cal. There's so many different variations, but just kind of talk about the importance of getting Peyton started, kind of getting him in a groove early in this game.
Yeah, especially today. You know, you talked about that. Starting him off with a pass is all about a confidence builder. You know, if I'm Coach Freeze, Coach Montgomery today, I may throw out a bubble screen. You know, just something to get the ball out of his hand, get a few easy completions, and not just him, but the receivers. You know, these guys need to feel comfortable in this game today.
Rivaldo Fairweather has caught 100% of the passes in which he has been targeted. How early in this game do you expect to see him be targeted?
Well, especially in this game, I expect them to be targeted early because the one thing you want to do is make Texas A&M defend the whole field. They struggled a little bit in their pass defense, so I feel like for us to win today, we can be really good in our offensive passing game, which involves the tight ends because he's been critical over the last couple of weeks catching the ball for us.
Too Tall Miller and Cam Stutz, we think we will see them. We'll see how effective they are coming back from injury. There has to be a little bit of adrenaline, extra adrenaline, though, running through the veins with the conference opener.
Yeah, definitely with the conference. We went out to Cal, and one thing we struggled with offensive line-wise was communication. Today it's going to be a lot louder, and hopefully that experience that they got in the Cal game, and they can learn from those mistakes and come out today with victorious.
All right, more X's and O's talk throughout the Tiger Tailgate Show. More special guests as well. First hour of the Tiger Tailgate Show is brought to you by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Auburn Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. This is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfly.
Live Sports Radio, bringing you all the action of game day with no delay. Every touchdown, interception, sideline report, and all the analysis from Andy Burcham, Jason Campbell, Ronnie Brown, and Will Herring. Yours at home and on the road. And they're good all through the spring. When football ends, you can still hear every broadcast of home men's and women's basketball, baseball, and softball, all with no delay. Live Sports Radio and Alpha Insurance, keeping you plugged into the Tigers at home and on the road.
War Eagle, it's a great day for Auburn Tigers to get vaccinated. Many children and adults that delayed vaccinations during the pandemic are still behind schedule. It's crucial that we take steps to get everyone back on track with their routine immunizations. Children and teens can still catch up on their vaccinations even if they start late. Make sure you and your family are all up to date on all recommended vaccines, including COVID-19 and flu. Let's all do our part to get back on track. Don't wait. Vaccinate. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
When you see the SEC student athlete, it's easy to picture the swing, the stance, the form. But look closer, and you'll see the heart, the brain, the clutch lab partner, the avid two-stepper, the pride of a hometown, and a little brother's hero. More than students, more than athletes. In the SEC, it just means more.
Thank you, Auburn, for over 40 years of business. Since day one at Guthrie's, we've been serving up the best golden fried chicken fingers, hand-chopped coleslaw, crinkle-cut fries, and our signature Guthrie sauce. Often imitated, never duplicated. We have 4 Auburn locations to serve you, including South College and our downtown location off East Glen Avenue, which is open until 3 a.m. every night. Fresh, hot, and fast. That's the Guthrie's promise. To find the nearest Guthrie's to you, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
We are at Kyle Field in College Station. We're getting ready for Auburn and Texas A&M. The members of the Auburn University Marching Band who are here, some of them are already in place, and Tiger Walk will be taking place in about 15 minutes or so, and the team will make their way in. It is time for our Guthrie's game picks, and fellas, didn't go well last week. Didn't go well. Andy and Jason tied at 2-2. They were 2-2 last week. All right. Paul was 1-3, and Ronnie, bless his heart, Ronnie rode the struggle bus last week.
Man, he was 0 for 4.
He was 0 for 4.
Wow.
Geez.
So it's like I told Will last night. It's like Family Feud when the first guy goes and doesn't get anything, and Steve Harvey has to tell him, look, they got you no points. You got to do everything. So Will is trying to play pickup today.
I am.
So let's get it started. Some really good matchups this week. Florida State, just a 1 or 2 point favorite on the road at Clemson. That is at 11 o'clock this morning. Florida State at Clemson. And Paul, we'll start with you first.
I saw that Clemson-Duke game, and if you were a believer in Clemson, you may not be a believer after seeing that. Maybe I'm too biased by that, but I got to go with the Seminoles. I think the Seminoles had their close call last week up at Boston College. They ran into a buzzsaw, and they survived. I think now their attention's back on football, and they're going to roll in Clemson today.
So did you leave Clemson by the side of the road, or are you a believer in Florida State, or both?
I'm a believer in Florida State. I think Clemson's probably the 3rd or 4th best team in the ACC.
Okay. Jason, what say you?
Ooh, Paul, man, I want to go on a limb with you, but I don't know if that limb going to hold both of us.
Well, Florida State's the favorite in the game.
It'd be a strong limb, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I just think Florida State, they hit the transfer portal really hard. Coach Norvell has built something over the last 4 years there, and you think about Clemson, Dabo is against the portal, and he's seeing a struggle because of it. So I'm like you. I'm going to go Florida State in a close one.
All right. Will.
I'm going to FSU. I watched a lot of that FSU-LSU game, and this is a good team. Last week, they did. I think they were looking down the road at Clemson. They had an inferior Boston College team make a run at the end and make the score look good, but FSU's a good team.
Yeah,
they are a
really
top
wasn't
5
as
team.
close as that score.
They are going on the road, and winning on the road at an environment like Clemson will be tough. But I think that the Noles prevail.
Clemson's desperate in this game too. They can't lose this and have any kind of semblance of season they want. Andy, clean sweep.
So you guys are not on a limb. If 3 of you are out there, there's no limb.
No, you could.
But I will take the limb, and I will take Clemson to win at home.
Okay.
I like that pick. You've done well with home teams of late.
I think we're on a branch. You're on a limb.
That's a strong limb Andy's on.
All right. By the way, overall, Jason's leading at 8-4. Then you have Andy and Paul tied at 6-6, and our sideline crew is at 5-7 through the first 3 weeks.
That's sad.
That's your leaderboard.
Committee.
2:30 today, a top 15 matchup in Tuscaloosa. 15th ranked Ole Miss, about a touchdown underdog. Number 13, Alabama. Andy, we'll start with you.
Yeah, a lot of folks have given up on Alabama, including a lot of Alabama fans. That has been a fatal flaw in the past when you do that to Alabama. I think home field advantage means everything today. Alabama wins this game at home against Ole Miss.
All right, Will.
I hate to pull for the Crimson Tide, and I'm not pulling for them necessarily. But there's a few personalities on the Ole Miss sideline that I don't really care too much for either. So it's kind of a wash in terms of my heart. But my head does tell me NT Town, Alabama prevails, and so I'm going with Alabama.
And by saying that, I'm not saying that Alabama's all the way back either. I just think they win today.
They win this matchup. Jason, you go 3 for 3?
Oh, Lord. I say this. I was going to pick Ole Miss in this game until Kiffin came out early this week and said something to kind of light some fire under Coach Saban.
No way.
You know,
no, he didn't.
Yeah, just try to get under his
Huh?
skin a little bit.
Yeah.
So
coaches keep doing that.
I don't
with
know why
other
he
coaches.
chooses to
He
do
does,
that.
that's for sure.
And for me, that reason only is why I'm going to pick Alabama, because Melrose didn't play last week, and this week I think they're going to utilize his legs a lot against the Ole Miss defense.
That's right. It is Milrose Place. All right, Paul, what do you think?
I say Melrose.
Yeah, I think there are two really desperate teams in the SEC. One of them is here at Texas A&M after getting blown out by Miami. The other one is Alabama. They both really need to avoid a second loss in September. I think one of them may come out flat, and one of them may come out with fire in their eyes. Unfortunately, if I'm going to pick it that way, I got to pick Alabama.
Okay.
And boy, I hate to do that.
Clean sweep for the home team. We got about 3 minutes. We don't have to rush through these, but let's pick it up a little bit. Mississippi State at South Carolina. Carolina, almost a touchdown favorite at home. Will, we'll start with you.
I'm going with Carolina, 100%. I think they're the better team. They are at home, and they're a much improved ball team over the last few years. I like the direction of the program.
All right, Paul.
Two outstanding quarterbacks, but I think the over/under in this game is about 11.
Yeah.
I'm going with South Carolina. I think both of them are going to have trouble scoring, but maybe South Carolina with Rattler will do a little better.
Andy.
Carolina wins at home.
Jason.
Man, I would go with my home state school here.
Do it. You picked against your home state once.
Mississippi State, but my brother was so upset he cut his TV off last week. So, what State did last week, I cannot go with State. So do not write that down. I'm going with Carolina.
Clean sweep. I got it written down over here. All right. So you're just calling him chicken. You're chasing. All right. Top 10 matchup in South Bend. Ohio State, 3-point favorite at Notre Dame. Jason, we'll start with you this time.
Hey, right choice right there. I'm going to go with Freeman at home. I'm going with Notre Dame. Ohio State quarterback has been getting better each week, but I like the hostile environment. I like the quarterback that came over from Wake Forest for them. Hartman. I think they get it done tonight.
Their offense is a whole lot better than it was last year. Will, what do you think?
I'm glad you picked Notre Dame. I have not regained confidence in Notre Dame since that beatdown Alabama put on them a decade or two ago.
You might want to let that go.
I know. I'm still working through that, Andy. I'm going with the Buckeyes. I've not watched either team play this year, but from everything I'm reading, the Buckeyes have a good squad, so I'm going with the Buckeyes on the road.
Paul?
I'm going to go with the Golden Dome. The ticket office in the Golden Dome prevented a lot of Ohio State fans from buying tickets.
Yeah.
So I think the Golden Dome will have a home field advantage.
Andy, you got about 30 seconds.
Buckeyes on the road. My first road pick in 2 weeks.
And for Will's information, Reese is the offensive coordinator at Alabama right now. He's not at Notre Dame anymore.
He was the quarterback at Notre Dame, however, in that game. Where
so
they got
everything has gone to Bama now. That's why they're struggling down there.
Note taken.
I love it. Another edition, Guthrie's Game Picks. Guthrie's thanks the Auburn family for over 40 years of business. Since day one, fresh, hot, fast, always been the Guthrie's promise. Find the nearest Guthrie's to you. Visit Guthrie'sChicken.com. The Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Thank you, Auburn, for over 40 years of business. Since day one at Guthrie's, we've been serving up the best golden fried chicken fingers, hand-chopped coleslaw, crinkle-cut fries, and our signature Guthrie sauce. Often imitated, never duplicated. We have 4 Auburn locations to serve you, including South College and our downtown location off East Glen Avenue, which is open until 3 a.m. every night. Fresh, hot, and fast. That's the Guthrie's promise. To find the nearest Guthrie's to you, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
When we say we're an everything school, we mean it. Auburn University isn't just home to the best athletics program in the nation. It's also home to the best student-centered engineering experience in America. And that's not just a slogan. It's a promise. The Samuel Ginn College of Engineering ranks as the top engineering college in the state of Alabama, while also ranking as one of the best public engineering colleges in the nation. Tomorrow's leaders, innovators, and world changers begin at the Ginn College of Engineering. Visit today, eng.auburn.edu.
Everything that you'd ever seen with Miranda Lambert on it, I have my finger on the pulse of what it is. Idlewind, I've seen every article of clothing. I've spent hours and hours sending inspirations. I've sent clothes that I love and fabrics, and I'm involved in every single garment that you see. It's important to me that it is an extension of my music, and it's an extension of who I am. I always want it to stay as honest as my music. Idlewind at Boot Barn.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
Brad Law and Will Herring on this 2-minute drill. We're going to talk some defense today, and in particular the matchups against the offensive tackles of Texas A&M. And so the edge rushers, the jack linebackers, and their matchups. Trezon III, 6'7", 315 at left tackle. Chris Bisontis, 6'6", 320. A freshman, nicked up a little bit last week against ULM, but those are the guys. They're tall, fairly young. Those are the guys that are going to be charged with holding things together for their quarterback today.
Absolutely. You know, I think it starts stopping the run, and setting the edge and controlling the edge is vital in stopping the run. And then you talked about the pressure, Brad. A guy that's nicked up, a freshman, on the edge. We'll see if he goes. But any way we can get pressure, Andy mentioned it earlier, not a lot of sacks. I think a couple sacks on the season, but this quarterback, when pressured, has been shown to be human. It doesn't matter how great of a quarterback you are, pressure busts pipes. And when you apply pressure, whether it's one-on-one situations, whether it's designing an intricate blitz to come open, we've used that star position many times to create pressure this year, and it'll be interesting to see what we scheme up today.
Didn't see a lot of the exotic stuff last week against Samford. Didn't have to, and
Right.
You're protecting some guys on the back end. 10 seconds or less, though, you expect to see a little more of that today.
I do. This is a much better ball team, and they're X's and O's. We talk about the Jacks and the Joes. They've got the Joes, and they've got a good team. They've got the talent. We all talked about their talent the last few years, and it'll be a fun game to watch.
All right, we'll talk more about it as we go along. First hour of the Tailgate Show brought to you by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Auburn Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. This is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfly.
Sports not only bring us together, they inspire us on our own health journeys. Whether we're walking an extra lap, crushing a new goal, or spending time with friends cheering in the stands, we all win when we feel healthier and happier. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama is a proud sponsor of athletic programs across the state. Because a healthier Alabama is a happier Alabama. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters.
The Houston Clinic would like to welcome Dr. Brad Young, the newest addition to our team of experienced medical professionals in Auburn's Houston Clinic. Specializing in joint replacements, sports medicine, and arthroscopic surgery, Dr. Young has treated athletes and worked with sports teams from middle and high school to college and professional teams. Call now to schedule your evaluation. Houston Clinic. Research, education, treatment. Houston.com.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for... Aw, Jim.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
We're still on the air.
Hello, this is Coach Hugh Freeze. They say Coke Zero Sugar is irresistibly tasty. Does that make it the best Coke ever? Find out for yourself. War Eagle.
At Austell USA, we're building ships that protect and defend our nation. Building innovative ships requires innovative people. We're looking for Tiger fans to join the build. We offer 4 10-hour-day work schedules for our production employees, comprehensive benefits, and individualized training programs that make our dynamic workforce even stronger. Visit austeljobs.com to apply today and build a strong future. Austell USA. Innovative on land, exceptional at sea.
This is the Auburn Sports Network, and it's time for another hour of the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage. Conecuh Sausage is the official sausage and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Straight ahead, more special guests and features, and a breakdown of the X's and O's as we move closer to kickoff. Here's Paul Ellen to start another hour of the Tiger Tailgate Show.
This is A&M Southeastern Conference opener for both teams. About a 50-piece Auburn pep band is on hand, and they are on their feet as it is time for the Tiger Walk report. The Tigers going through Tiger Walk right now. We expect them on the field momentarily as they come through the southeast entrance of Kyle Field here in College Station. The Tiger Walk report presented by the Alabama Department of Public Health. They remind you, don't wait, vaccinate. Protect yourself and others by staying current on all recommended vaccines, including COVID and flu. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM. And you hear the Auburn band cranking it up down below as Tiger Walk has begun, and the Tigers are making their way onto this field where they have won 4 out of 5 since this annual rivalry was initiated. Paul Ellen here with Jason Campbell, Andy Burcham, and a man who was part of the 4 out of 5 victories that the Tigers have had here. The first one back in 2013. Sammie Coates joins us. Sammie, War Eagle, and thanks for taking time to be with us today.
War Eagle, thanks for having me.
We appreciate it. We remember certainly one of the highlights of that victory back in 2013. You caught a pass on the near sideline, slammed the defender out of bounds, went on for about 10 more yards down the field, and that emotion and action of that particular play seemed to spur everyone who was wearing orange and blue, both the team and the fans who were here in attendance. What are your memories of that particular game?
Oh, that was a great game. That was our turning point of the season. That was when we knew we were capable of beating anybody when we beat Johnny Manziel at home. That every play counted in that game because it came down to the last sack of the game with Johnny Manziel going down in the middle of the field.
Sammie, what was the lead-up that week like prior to that game against Texas A&M and Johnny Manziel? And that team had boat raced Auburn a year before at Auburn. So what was the mood? What was preparation like in the week leading up to that game here in 2013?
Oh, man, we knew what kind of place we was going into, an environment. We knew it was going to be loud. We knew it was going to be a very impactful game for our season. We was locked in for that game, especially after we knew we lost to LSU. So going to that game, it was like it was a must-win for us. We knew we had to start there and move forward from that game.
Hey, Sam, and it's Jason here. Like I said, you played out here in this stadium. You understand when they do the sweat and how fun it is at the same time. But talk about as a unit, as a receiving core, catching a ball in this stadium can be different. Just talk about being a receiver in this atmosphere.
Oh, man, you got to really lock in there. You look up in the stands, man, it's like the stands are moving because they lock them arms and they start rocking. So it kind of messes your eyes a little bit, just seeing them rock left to right and the ball's in the air. You can see that in the corner of your eye. You really got to lock in, and the noise, it's loud. The yell guys, they get it loud in there.
Once Auburn won that game here in last-second fashion with both an offensive touchdown driving the length of the field and then the defensive stand, you guys were pretty much untouchable all the way to the national championship game. How much did this game fuel that team?
Oh, man, that game itself was when we knew we had a chance to do something special that year because Texas A&M was a great team that year. And their offense was so explosive. So knowing that we can keep up with a team like that was like a confidence builder. Knowing Johnny Manziel was going to put up 40 points, and we put up that many points told us, like, oh, yeah, we got a chance.
All right, take us through the play that you became known for from that game, the stiff arm and planting the dude on the turf here in front of their bench.
Oh, man, the crazy thing is I didn't even try to do it. It was just like a reaction. And after I'd done it, and I could just see the coach on the sideline covering his mouth, it was like, oh, crap, I must did something special. I've seen a replay. I was like, oh, crap.
So you didn't mean to stiff on the guy, Sammie?
But
you know how you just run into something and it just happens? I wasn't planning on stiff. I was just trying to break a tackle. I didn't know I threw him down that hard.
Yeah, and the important part of that play is you got a first down after the stiff arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even know I threw him, to be honest. I was just like, oh, he kind of like bumped into me until I rewatched it.
You need to come up with a better story about that play, Sammie.
I tell people all the time, like, I didn't even know I did it. It's like, you the moment, it's like, then you look back at it, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, you can add to the legend a little better with that. Sammie, tell us about your story and how you wound up at Auburn out of Leroy, Alabama.
Oh, man, it's a crazy story, actually. My best friend, Andrew Williams, climbed through my window at 4 o'clock in the morning to get me to go to the Auburn camp day. And I was like, man, I'm not going. I'm committed to Southern Miss. So, like, they ain't going to offer me. I'm tired of these teams, whatever. So he climbed through the window, pulled me out of bed and said, man, we going to this camp because I want to go to this camp. So I was like, all right, cool. I get up there. I made like 2 or 3 catches. Troop pulled me off the field. Took me to Chisholm office, like, hey, we finna offer you right now. I was like, what? Blew my mind. I'm committed. It's like, are y'all going to call Southern Miss for me? Because I don't want to do it. No, I'm glad I chose to come to that camp that day. It changed my life and my career.
Yeah, Sammie, you one of the great receivers to come through Auburn, but as you know, anytime you play in heat, today it's going to be an index of, they say, 100 degrees, for game time today. As a receiver, how do you prepare your mind for that? How do you prepare your body for that when you know it's going to be a game like this in this type of heat?
It's kind of really hard, to be honest. You can get all the sleep you want. You can drink all the water and hydrate. But once you get out there, like just the air in that environment, it kind of like gets to you at that point because you get emotionally tired too. So you know every play counts. So it's like draining. So you got to really, really just give it all you got in games like that. Like after the game, you know you're gonna be dead. So you got to leave it on the field. There's no way to prepare for an environment or a game that physical. And knowing what kind of game what it means for the whole season, it's just like you just got to be mentally tough.
Sammie, give us a life update. What are you doing now, bud?
I'm actually up at Ohio Northern University coaching the receivers. So I'm getting into the coaching world. I just decided to go ahead and go that route because I miss football so much. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to go coach.
Well, Sammie, we thank you for taking time to be with us. We know you've enjoyed some hot weather coming out of Leroy, Alabama, and they played some hot weather down there, and we're sure glad your friend climbed through the window and drug you up to Auburn for that camp. Happened to see Coach Chisholm later that day, and he was quite happy. He said, we committed 2 receivers today, and they can both really play. So we're glad that he saw you, and we're glad you made that decision. Thanks for taking time to be with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
War Eagle. War Eagle to you.
War Eagle.
Sammie Coates.
War Eagle.
Very well known for his exploits at Auburn throughout his career, and certainly well known for that big play in that 2013 game right here. Well, the Tigers on the field with some of their skill position players after Tiger Walk as they loosen up. The Auburn Tigers put their trust in Auburn AV every home game for the best fan experience, and so should you. Bring the football game day experience home when you have Auburn AV design and install your home entertainment system. As the preferred audiovisual provider of Auburn athletics, Auburn AV has what you need. Learn more at auburnav.com. Stay with us. The Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Welcome to Whataburger. What can I get you today?
We know that sound. Is this guy ready to move past his usual and choose Whataburger's Southern Bacon Double? Will he seize those fresh all-beef patties with 2 kinds of cheese topped with crunchy slaw, crispy bacon, and a Southern-style sauce?
I'll take, Southern Bacon Double.
Good choice. Your boldness knows no bounds nor burgers.
Know what? You really get me.
Yep. The Southern Bacon Double from Whataburger. Just like you like it. Available for a limited time in select locations.
Auburn Bank presents Championship Moments.
After Auburn suffered its first loss in 2013, the Tigers returned home against Ole Miss. With Auburn on top 6-3 late in the first quarter, the Rebels looked to mount a drive, but the Auburn defense put a stop to that in a hurry.
Shotgun snap to Wallace. Shoots it to the left side, and it's intercepted! Intercepted! Now the far sideline. Threezy at midfield. To the 40, to the 30. Tail lights! Touchdown!
Robinson Threezy's third interception of the season gave the Tigers a 13-3 lead. It was never closer than that until Ole Miss scored midway through the fourth quarter to make it 27-22. Cody Parkey kicked a field goal to make it 30-22, and as the Rebels tried to rally on their final possession, the Auburn defense stood tall again.
He's in trouble, and he's shoved down. And it's Carl Lawson or D Ford. Which one got it? No, it's 90. Game right.
It was the punctuation mark as the Tigers got back in the win column. I'm Jacob Hillman, and this has been another championship moment presented by Auburn Bank, champions of you.
Thinking of medical school? Edward Via College of Osteopathic Medicine in Auburn has award-winning medical education and research programs. VCOM partners with Auburn University for student activities, research, and sports medicine physicians to care for Tiger athletes. VCOM is providing tomorrow's physicians for Auburn and the surrounding communities. Find out more at vcom.edu. That's vcom.edu.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
Welcome back to Kyle Field in College Station, Texas, one of the most magnificent stadiums in the SEC and really in the nation. A lot of oil money around these parts, and they have paid it off in facilities. Talking with Andy Burcham now, and Andy, as you look around the league, there is a lot of different towns. You see the culture of the towns and the culture of the campus community, the facilities they have. What are your favorite? We won't ask you for your least favorite, but let's say rank the top 3 or 4 in terms of the college campuses you get to go to.
Well, this is one of them. I love College Station. I love this campus. The restaurants are top notch, so obviously that's important to us, to me, to be sure. I think the facilities here really are unmatched in the Southeastern Conference. I like the small town atmosphere of an Oxford, Mississippi, and the square with the history of the square, the corner bookstore and the great restaurants there. And then another one, just the opposite way, Nashville. Not necessarily for the campus at Vanderbilt, which is fine.
Or the stadium.
Which is being renovated finally. Yeah. But it's just Nashville itself, and there's so much to do. And it's a big city with a little bit of a small city atmosphere, I think. So those are 3 of my top in the Southeastern Conference. I look forward to Austin. I look forward to Norman.
Yeah, and Baton Rouge is coming up. That's certainly good when you get away from the campus, and it's a nice campus. But there are some good places to go eat, and our crew will enjoy that. So some good places around the Southeastern Conference. Auburn holds their own in that category as well. Coming up, we'll have more guests. We'll have scores for, at least a lineup from around the country, and an early kickoff, Auburn and Texas A&M. This is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfly.
Eagle 102.3 is your East Alabama and Midwest Georgia's country music leader, playing the top hits from the hottest artists. Download our Eagle 102.3 app so you can listen to us whenever and wherever. Listen to your favorite country artists, stay up to date on your favorite college football team.
War Eagle!
And catch our local high school football broadcasts, all from our app. Available on Apple and the Google Play Store. For more information, visit our website, eagle1023.com, or find our link tree on Instagram at WELR Eagle.
Children's of Alabama reminds you that every child's head injury should be treated like a serious injury until a doctor says it's not. In fact, the CDC estimates some 4 million sports and recreation-related concussions occur each year. Even a minor fall or collision may be a concern. Symptoms typically include headaches, unsteadiness, confusion, or sleepiness. To find out what to do in case of a suspected concussion, visit childrensal.org/concussion and always dial 911 in case of an emergency.
Hey, Auburn fans, it's time to stretch those legs and reach for another bag of Golden Flake. Home or away, with family or friends, you know no game day is complete without your favorite snack. So enjoy Golden Flake or any of our other delicious snacks from the Utz family of brands and sit back for the rest of the game. Golden Flake and Auburn football, a winning team. Simple Southern goodness. Golden Flake, celebrating 66 years as the official salty snack of the Auburn Tigers.
We always picture the SEC student athlete for their speed, their vertical, their agility, but it's time we picture them for more. For their campus voice, their community outreach, and for the simple fact that 20 years later, they're still someone's pride and joy. More than students, more than athletes. In the SEC, it just means more.
Welcome back to the Tiger Tailgate Show, counting it down to kickoff. Auburn against Texas A&M. Paul Ellen with Andy Burcham and Jason Campbell. Jason, I want to talk about the two offenses involved in this game just a little bit. First, talking about Auburn. Auburn went on the road to Cal. It was not a great offensive performance. Other than that, they overmatched a couple of opponents. How much of this Auburn offense have we seen, and how much more do you expect to see today?
That's a great question there, Paul. The first game of the season, we come out against UMass. We do exactly what we're supposed to do. And then we go out into Cal, and we kind of sputter a little bit. And then we got into a quarterback rotation that kind of didn't play in our favor. You know, it was hard for our offense to catch a rhythm. Guys didn't have a lot of chemistry, and we had some early turnovers in that game as well, and that kind of kept us from having the ball a lot. And then you come back against Sanford last week, and you saw that they slowed down the quarterback rotation, but then they got Peyton Thorne more involved in the run game. Yeah. And that's something that we didn't see the first two games. And with him being able to do that, I think that helps our offense, because now defenses can't look at him and say, backside, we can flow fast. No, you got to stay home, because the exception that he may keep it. So it was good last week that we was able to show that. It was good last week that we got the receivers involved more in the passing game. I think that's our next step, is how far have we seen of the passing game? Because we didn't see a lot of it those first 2 weeks, and we saw more of it last week.
I hope we haven't seen all the offense yet, because we really haven't seen the identity of this offense. As you mentioned, game one, Auburn did basically what it wanted to do. Game two, it did enough to win. And last week, I think Auburn wanted to get in and pass the ball, pass it around, give Peyton Thorne a chance to settle in. And then, of course, we saw what he did with his feet, which was unexpected, I think, even for Peyton to that point. Auburn's last two 100-yard rushers, guys, are quarterbacks. Peyton Thorne and Robbie Ashford last year against Alabama in the Iron Bowl. We still have not seen that potent Auburn running attack yet. I think we're going to need to see it a little bit more here today. If anything, Jason and Paul, as far as time of possession in this ball game today.
Now, Texas A&M has given up almost nothing on the ground, but really the only video we had to look at, because they tremendously overmatched their other two opponents, was Miami. Did Miami throw for almost 400 yards because they could, and so they didn't run it at all? Or is Texas A&M's running defense so good that everybody has to throw it?
Well, like I said, they're big. Their defensive front end is a huge group. Those guys, they can run for the ball. They can stop the run, because their thing about defense in the run game is stopping gaps. That's what they do really well. Even if you can't be moved out of that gap, it's just stay home and stay strong enough and firm enough that those holes don't open up. So that's why teams are able to kind of pass the ball against them, because their pass rush hasn't been efficient enough of getting to the quarterbacks. Van Dyke threw for 5 touchdown passes, and it seemed like once he got fired, they couldn't stop him.
And they went deep.
And they went deep.
Yeah, they stretched it.
So I think today for us offensively, we have to know that. And I think that's why it was an emphasis last week against Sanford to stretch the field with our receivers, because they know in order to win this game today, we may need that. Because, like I said, our run game, it's been good. Like, we've been averaging over 215 yards a game. But let's just be honest, last week Sanford did a pretty good job of stopping us running the football.
Right.
So that does cause a little bit for concern. So I think that passing game today, hopefully we take our shots early on, because if we can hit some early shots, Andy, in this game, it takes a lot of pressure off of us, and it puts more pressure on the home team.
When you ask Hugh Freeze about the Texas A&M defensive line, names, he doesn't know names. All he knows is numbers.
Yeah.
5 and 0 and 3 and 10, and they're really good up front. Shamar Turner one side, Fidel Diggs at the other side with McKinley Jackson and Walter Nolan inside. They're really good. They're big, as you mentioned. They're always athletic here on the defensive front. Will Auburn be able to run the football against this team? How much, and another factor in this is how effective is Cam Stutz at right guard and Isaiah Too-Tall Miller at right tackle here today. Both of those guys did not finish the game last week. I think they have been limited practice this week. How much will they be a factor here today, Jason?
And you say that too, Andy. That's, to me, talks about chemistry. When we played on the road in Cal, we was late off the ball on the offensive line, and then we had those holding calls. Why? Because we were late off the ball, so you were reaching and trying to keep a guy from getting to your quarterback, which set us behind the line of scrimmage a lot more. So
when I watched the Miami film, Fidel Diggs was in the backfield all day long, coming off that right side, which would go against Too-Tall Miller. How well is Auburn able to contain Fidel Diggs and Shamar Turner coming off the edges today?
And Turner's a big deal. He's got half of their sacks for the year. Turner can really get back there in a hurry. Flip the script now, Jason. You played for Bobby Petrino. Big deal. They hired Petrino to be the offensive coordinator. This is his first conference test. What does Petrino do to make him such an offensive guru?
Well, the one thing about him is when I played with him, he came over from Jacksonville Jaguars, and he was always big on the first 15. His first 15, he does an outstanding job in his first 15 of trying to attack the defense's weakness and to give you something different. He was going to give Auburn something different today in the first 10 plays that we haven't seen in the first couple of games.
By the way, they have a touchdown on their first drive of all 3 games so far.
Yeah, see, and that's his key. If people remember the Iron Bowl in 2002, we come out, we do the fake the ball behind our back and hit Anthony Mitts down the middle of the field. Right. That's something that they wasn't expecting. And so he's always going to have those shot plays that he dial up early in the game. He tells his quarterback, if that shot play is not there, keep us in the good down and distance by checking the ball down.
All right, if he does go after Auburn's weakness defensively, what do you think that is? What do you think in his mind is the susceptible part of that defense?
I think knowing his quarterback, Wiggum, he knows he has a strong arm, but he also respects our secondary. Yeah. You know, that's the thing. Like, our secondary has got some hands on the ball. Jalen Simpson, 3 interceptions in 3 games. Right. You know, the first time to do that since Gerard Powers in 2007. So he knows that. But what we haven't done really well, which we have, is stop the run. But have we played someone that run the football really? You know, like Cal was supposed to be, Ott, he can ran the ball a little bit, but we contained him. We contained him for 2.8 yards a carry out there, and so that was a good sign. So today we will be tested early. He's going to see how well our defensive front can stop the run. If we can't stop the run, then that's what he's going to lean on today.
Now their strength, though, is the passing game. They haven't run the ball a whole lot this year. In fact, the rumor around here is that their true freshman signee, Reuben Owens, may be getting a lot more playing time at running back because they've been very dissatisfied there. Jason, by the same token, they got 4 receivers that can play for anybody in the country, and they complement each other very well.
Yeah, you're talking about Smith, Stewart, Thomas, and Muhammad III. Like, those guys, they can run. They can stretch the field, especially Smith, 5'10" guy, preseason all-SEC type player. You know, he's a guy that can really stretch the field. We got to know where he's at all times. Evan Stewart, Evan Stewart was the freshman All-American. This guy here, he's really, really talented, and he's a 6-foot guy that also, 19 receptions so far, 257 yards. So he's a guy they like to get the ball to. But the big tight end is a 6'4" guy, Jake Johnson. So these guys are kind of like Auburn in some way. They have a height and size, and can our defensive backs stand up to those guys, which I believe we can based off our experience.
And throw in Noah Thomas, who's their leading receiver through the first 3 games, and a 6'6" target as well.
Yeah, he is a big target. They can spread it around. They like to throw it. They dare Auburn to throw it. Now, Miami threw it with impunity against them. Both teams have a lot of questions offensively, and we're going to see how that's answered. Quick tip of the hat here. Terry Price, a coach at Auburn, coached defensive ends, a longtime defensive end coach here. He died this past summer. He is being honored, so if you happen to see the game on television and sync it up with your radio, you will see a TP on the 25-yard line. That is in honor of former Auburn and Texas A&M coach Terry Price. All right, Jason and Andy are going to be adjourned now. They're going to get set for the opening segments of our game broadcast. A reminder, Tiger fans deserve the best, and that's exactly what they'll find with Sweet Grown Alabama. Find farm fresh produce, meat, honey, jams, and more that are perfect for your next tailgate. SweetGrownAlabama.org. That is SweetGrownAlabama.org. War Eagle. Stay with us. The Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Things we take for granted, ordinary opportunities for parents and their children, can be a foster child's extraordinary. You have the power to do something positive that will change the life of a young person right here in Alabama. Open your heart and open your home to a foster child today. For more information, visit www.dhr.alabama.gov or call 1-866-64-AL-KIDS. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Hey, Auburn fans, it's time to stretch those legs and reach for another bag of Golden Flake. Home or away, with family or friends, you know no game day is complete without your favorite snack. So enjoy Golden Flake or any of our other delicious snacks from the Utz family of brands and sit back for the rest of the game. Golden Flake in Auburn football, a winning team. Simple Southern goodness, Golden Flake. Celebrating 66 years as the official salty snack of the Auburn Tigers.
In football, it's important to call the right play. In life, it can be even more important to make the right call, especially regarding termite protection. To protect my home, I called Cook's Pest Control and got the Centricon system. You don't have to live with termites. For a free quote, make the right call. Cook's Pest Control and the Centricon system.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
This broadcast of Auburn football is brought to you in part by Moe's Original Barbecue. Moe's Original Barbecue in Auburn is the place to go for a Southern soul food revival made from scratch with Southern hospitality. It's also a great place to catch all the games on Saturday when Auburn's on the road. Plus, make us a part of your tailgate experience with our catering options available for pickup or delivery. Moe's Original Barbecue with 2 locations in Auburn, downtown and on Bent Creek Road.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
Well, the first weekend of fall officially, although you wouldn't know it in East Central Texas, where it's going to be in the upper 90s by the time this game is over. Nonetheless, 10 SEC teams are in conference action this weekend. Of course, Auburn and Texas A&M will kick things off here, 11 o'clock Central Time. A&M is 2-1. Overall, first conference game for both teams, Auburn 3-0. Also kicking off at 11 Central Time, it will be Kentucky and Vanderbilt. Vandy already 2-2, coming off a heartbreaking loss last week to UNLV. Kentucky is 3-0 coming in. Later this afternoon, it'll be Ole Miss against Alabama and Tuscaloosa. The Rebels 3-0, Alabama 2-1 coming into that game. Alabama a little bit desperate straits, although they haven't played a conference game yet. It will be the conference opener for both those teams as well. In Knoxville, Tennessee will be hosting Texas San Antonio. That game will be a 3 o'clock game as Tennessee 2-1 and San Antonio is 1-2. Later on, early evening game down in Baton Rouge at number 12 LSU is hosting Arkansas. Both teams come into that game with 2-1 records. They play for the boot and they play much earlier this season than normal. Charlotte will be at Florida, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium this side. The Gators 2-1. Charlotte 1-2 there. Georgia in Athens hosting UAB. The Dogs remain undefeated at 3-0. Missouri, after they got the 61-yard field goal a week ago, hosting Memphis in St. Louis. That'll be an interesting game. Both those teams are undefeated. And later on, It'll be in South Carolina, Mississippi State against South Carolina there. Stay with us. This is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfly.
When Auburn football hits the half, keep it locked on the Auburn Sports Network for the Truckworks Halftime Report. Paul Ellen takes the driver's seat and delivers stats, scores, highlights, and analysis from the first 30 minutes. Plus an on-field interview with head coach Hugh Freeze, getting you ready for the rest of the game. The Truckworks Halftime Report on the Auburn Sports Network.
What does commitment sound like? At Alabama Power, we hear you, we see you, and celebrate you on long practice days, game days that bring us together, and every day in between. Your commitment to making an impact for the team, for the fans. That inspires us to be at our best for the communities we champion across the state. We're committed to this kind of energy. That's power for a better Alabama. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers.
Hey parents and kids, it's a perfect time for students to read their way to the Iron Bowl in AEA's Be a Champion and Read contest.
AEA wants to help K through 6th grade students to be academic champions, just like the Auburn Tigers.
Students who participate in the Be a Champion and Read challenge could win 3 tickets to the Iron Bowl and a chance to take the field on game day. Ask your teacher about contest rules.
Encourage your child to be an AEA champion reader and win a trip to the Iron Bowl.
Conecuh sausage is a fan favorite for tailgating, always great on the grill, and it's the official sausage dog and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Conecuh sausage is made from the finest cuts of pork, their patented blend of seasonings, and smoked over a pure hickory fire for that true Southern flavor. Be sure to visit the Conecuh gift shop in Evergreen, Alabama, right off I-65 at exit 96. Enjoy a crowd-pleasing Conecuh sausage dog while watching the Tigers and make Conecuh part of your game day. Conecuh sausage since 1947, a real winner.
1 hour, 37 minutes from now, Auburn and Texas A&M will kick off here in College Station. Brad Law with Will Herring, and we're going to talk now with one of the great defensive linemen of that 2000s era, and there were many on the Plains during that time. Spencer Johnson, Auburn and NFL standout, set to join us now on the phone. Spencer, War Eagle, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us today.
War Eagle, good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me, guys.
So our good friend Jason Campbell said that you are living in Houston now. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct, yeah.
Well, tell us what's going on with you. What are you up to these days?
Not much, man. Just enjoying retired life, enjoying the family. My son is in high school now, so just enjoying being around him and watching his process. My daughter's 9 years old, doing a whole lot, so you know, it's just been really good, man, enjoying everything and just enjoying my time off and being there for him.
Love that, and you've certainly earned that, a terrific NFL career. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on in the segment, but we wanted to start. And I know as a defensive tackle, you may have spent more time with Don Dunn than with Terry Price, but, you know, he's a guy who worked with those defensive ends, and you were around Coach Price some. Can you just kind of maybe share some thoughts and memories of Coach Price?
Ooh, man, yeah, you're right, man. Coach Dunn was my defensive tackle coach, man. But, you know, those guys were thick as thieves, man. Those guys were always together. You know, and Coach Price was, man, just family, man. Just great people, great heart, great spirit, man. They took great care of us. But, man, he was one of the – and I kept in touch with him while I was out here. We went up to some games. Man, he's just a great guy, man. He touched so many people. He was a big part of my life, big part of my success, big part of me being confident in what I was doing, man. He has been there, done it. You know, just I can't say enough good things about him and his family, man. And you know, he's going to be severely missed by me and so many others. So, man, he's just a special person, man. Special person in so many lives, especially mine. So, you know.
Spencer,
I love him, man.
Spencer, Will Herring here. It's good to talk to you, buddy.
Hey,
yeah.
Will, how you doing?
You doing all right, bud?
I'm good.
Great, man. Yeah, just in hearing you talk about Coach Price, and I think about my days. Of course, we overlapped 2 or 3 years at Auburn, and just the old school lunchbox mentality. And when I think about our defensive line and that front four, and Coach Price was so instrumental in creating that mindset. It don't matter who we line up against, we're not going to be out physical. And when I think about Joe Witt and the two of them, just how instrumental they were in creating that physicality on defense. But like you said, I was in the secondary. I didn't play linebacker until my senior year. Coach Witt had retired by then. But just the two of them, I mean, that physical Auburn defense that we were accustomed to being a part of, just tremendous coaches. But they coached you so hard when you were between the white lines. But then off the field, they loved you. They loved you like their own, right?
Oh, man, 100%, man. I get chills thinking about, just talking about, just hearing you talk about the physicality, man. And like you said, man, it was hard-nosed on the football field, man. We bust our butts, man. But we respected them so much. But the same thing that you said, man, they loved us so much off the field, man. Coach Price and Coach Dunn would take care of us. We would have D-line night. We would go and eat, man, and they would cook food, and we'd be able to take food back to the house and eat for a whole week, So, man, just having that family atmosphere, man, allowed us to go out and not even second-guess being physical, not even second-guess putting our heart on the line for each other and for our coaches, man, and that makes a big difference. And even with me coaching Little League and whatever things I do, I still take that mentality with me, man, because I know how important it is for you guys, for teams to be like that. And man, to this day, we're still close, man, and man, I love hearing from each other, man. That bond that they help create between us is unbreakable. So.
Right.
It's amazing.
As a player, Spence, and you can attest to this, when you know that a coach cares about you as a person and they can add to your craft as a player, I mean, you'll run through a concrete cinder block wall for them. And and there's not a man that exemplifies that more when I think back of the coaches that I played, even not necessarily underneath because I wasn't a defensive end. But Coach Price, that was him 100%.
100%, man. The energy that he brought every single day, man, the knowledge that he brought, man, and like, it was just awesome, man. Like you say, you'll run through a brick wall for him over and over again because you know that they're coming with the right intentions, the right mentality, the right mindset, man. And, like I say, there's nothing to replace. I'm from Alabama, and a lot of guys were from different places, and they didn't have family there. And to have somebody there that can lead you as a father figure, lead you as a leader, and love you hard off the field, and coach you hard on the field, man, it's irreplaceable, man. And it's something that if you don't get it after that, you're always looking for that type of thing. But, man, Coach Price was one of the best men. Best coaches I knew, but more importantly, one of the best men that I knew. So,
amen.
Spencer Johnson, our guest here on the Tiger Tailgate Show. Spencer, what you did is not easy to do. Let's reflect on that NFL career a bit. You went from an undrafted free agent to halfway through your rookie year, you're starting for the Minnesota Vikings, and you turned that into a nearly decade-long NFL career. As you reflect back, what do you remember about that first year in the league?
Man, just being grateful, man. Honestly, man, just being able to I didn't get drafted, as you said. Just having the opportunity to go and live out my dream, man. I was blessed. As you know, Dontavius Thomas got drafted in the second round that year to Minnesota, so I was blessed to have somebody there with a familiar face, man. But I just remember being grateful and for the opportunity, man, and telling myself every day that I was going to go out and do the best that I could and let the chips fall where they may, man. It was a process. It was a learning curve, but, man, I was so blessed to be able to go out and do what I love and continue doing it, man. And that was one of the things that really kept me going. And, and just making plays, man. I was a playmaker and going out and having fun and playing the game with a chip on my shoulder, really just, because I felt like I should have been drafted, but, I was in that position and I bust my butt at practice every day, and coaches noticed it. I was on the scout team, I'm making plays on the scout team, and, actually having guys like Randy Moss and Dante Cook up to speak up for me and say, hey, man, y'all need to put this guy in the game. that was the greatest compliment that I could ever receive as a player. So, you know, it was a road, but it was awesome, man. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Spence, you know, as a young defensive guy, you know, I was a couple years behind you watching y'all make plays on Saturday against the greatest competition south of or underneath the NFL, besides the NFL. And then to see a guy like you not get drafted, it's like it's so humbling and it's like so eye-opening. But then like flash forward a few months to see you resurface again, and now you're out there making plays. You know, you were so gifted. The Lord blessed you with the ability to play this game at a high level on the field. But what I remember most about you and the Dexter Murphys, the DeMarcos, the Reggie Torbors, you know, you guys, like, when I got to Auburn, like, you know, people talk about, fearing Heacox or fearing the coaching staff. Like, for me, like, you guys made me feel like I was part of the family, but there was a healthy sense of accountability, a healthy fear of like, hey, I'm not going to be late to practice, or I'm not going to be late to a meeting because I'm going to have to answer to Reggie, you know, and the leadership from within the locker room when you and I played is the foundation of the defenses that we played alongside. And I just appreciate you for taking me in and loving on me and making me part of that family from day one when I got there.
Man, no problem, man. Because somebody did it for me, man. We had the guys like the Tavarius Pounds and, you know, the Josh Weldons and Cole Kublicks and the guys like that did the same thing for us, man. Right. And you know, and paying it forward is just being able to help and bless other bodies. But you're such a great guy anyway, man. You came in, you worked hard, you did everything that was asked of you, man. And you know, you was it's just an honor to even play with, be around you guys and call ourselves teammates, man. So the accountability that we had on that team, man, it really screams brotherhood. And to this day, I talk to all those guys almost every day, and we check on each other. So I really appreciate me being in that whole. Because Josh was a big part of that, you know.
Amen.
His accountability and everything, and so man, it really was a brotherhood. And I don't use that word lightly, man, brother, because I really do consider all you guys brothers for the rest of life. So. Man, it was a blessing, brother.
That's so good.
Really good stuff. Spencer, we can't thank you enough for spending time with us today. We hope we get a chance to catch up again soon, and wish you well. Enjoy the game today, War Eagle.
Love you, brother.
War Eagle.
Yes, sir.
I love you, brother.
All
right. Spencer Johnson joining us here on the Tiger Tailgate Show. Well, when we come back, we're going to continue to get you set for Auburn and Texas A&M on a sunny day in College Station. The Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Some people just know the perfect time to hit the concession stand. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate.
Woo! Nice! I never miss a touchdown. Want a bite?
Yeah, he knows he's got a sixth sense for a snack break. Just like he knows that switching to Allstate can save drivers $468.
Saving $468 is based on the national average annual savings for new auto customers surveyed in 2022 who switched to Allstate. Prices may vary based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Who out there likes to eat chicken? Did you know that when it comes to chicken production, Alabama rules the roost? In fact, we're ranked second in the country in broiler production. That's meat-type chickens, with nearly 2,600 poultry farm families raising more than 1 billion birds a year. Alabama's poultry industry adds more than $15 billion a year to the state's economy and provides jobs for almost 90,000 Alabamians. So be sure to prepare your favorite chicken dish this football season.
This broadcast of Auburn football is brought to you in part by Moe's Original Barbecue. Moe's Original Barbecue in Auburn is the place to go for a Southern soul food revival made from scratch with Southern hospitality. It's also a great place to catch all the games on Saturday when Auburn's on the road. Plus, make us a part of your tailgate experience with our catering options available for pickup or delivery. Moe's Original Barbecue with 2 locations in Auburn, downtown and on Bent Creek Road.
Every team has great athletes, but the ones that come together and have each other's back win the rings. I am Kenny Mullins for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 613, and we are Auburn's electricians. We're a group of over 5,000 highly trained electrical workers who have each other's back every day. We train together, work together, and look out for each other. If you're an electrical worker, come work with people that have your back. Join us at IBEW613.org, War Eagle.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
Brad Law and Will Herring, and we're going to talk to Ryan Davis, who had some big games against Texas A&M coming up in just under 4 minutes. So we'll do some matchup talk here, Will. And when you look defensively, it always kind of starts with the guys up front, but particularly because those A&M wide receivers are so good and such a big part of their offense. Today you got to look at that Auburn secondary to come up big.
Yeah, well, explosive plays are so key, and on defense, Auburn limiting the explosive plays. The strength of this A&M offense is their 4 top wide receivers: Smith, Stewart, Thomas, and Muhammad III. And so look for Kayan Lee, a freshman corner. He's played outstanding up till now. Nehemiah Pritchett, is he going to go? And if Nehemiah's back in the saddle, expect them to test him, expect him to test the freshman early with deep balls, with taking some shots. Jason hit on the first 15, and Coach Petrino, his emphasis on going after matchups, and expect for them to test our corners early.
That is something to watch, because Cal tried to go right at Kayan Lee, first offensive play of the game, and he was up to the challenge. Even with Nehemiah back, if it's his first action, even if he's out there snap number 1, that's part of strategy. They're going to try to say, all right, let's see if you're 100%.
You know, I started 1 year in the NFL on the PUP, the physically unable to perform list, and that first game back, you can try to replicate game speed all you want in practice. It's just not the same. So they're going to test him. If he gets back out there, he is a tremendous corner. Had a tremendous career, tremendous potential at the next level, but they're going to test him to see if that injury is right, if he's 100%.
All right, more matchup talk coming up. Ryan Davis in 2 minutes. This is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfly.
For generations, Alabama Extension has played a vital role in bettering the world around us. And by taking information discovered through Auburn University research to the people, we are empowering communities to tackle the challenges of tomorrow in a rapidly changing world. As educators, Extension is a partner in every county, bringing practical ways to better our homes, farms, people, and overall way of life. Alabama Extension, extending knowledge, improving lives. Discover more by visiting aces.edu.
Here's a clip from a recent Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham.
Jarris McIntyre, former Auburn wide receiver.
You know, it just was crazy that it took that long for us to score a touchdown with Ronnie Brown on the team, Cadillac Williams, myself, Courtney Taylor, Jason Campbell was the quarterback, Devin Aromashu, Ben Obamanu. We were loaded, and we couldn't score in 2 games. I could just remember catching that pass like, I got to get in the end zone. We got to score. We got to get this monkey off our back. And I still watch that play to this day. I still listen to his call to this day. And, you know, I think that's probably the most memorable moment of my Auburn football career, outside of the, Go Crazy Cadillac, running down that sideline with that.
A new episode of the Talking Tigers podcast is released every Monday, wherever you listen to podcasts. Like and subscribe to the Talking Tigers podcast, only from the Auburn Sports Network.
Conecuh Sausage is a fan favorite for tailgating, always great on the grill, and it's the official sausage dog and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Conecuh Sausage is made from the finest cuts of pork, their patented blend of seasonings, and smoked over a pure hickory fire for that true Southern flavor. Be sure to visit the Conecuh Gift Shop in Evergreen, Alabama, right off I-65 at exit 96. Enjoy a crowd-pleasing Conecuh Sausage dog while watching the Tigers and make Conecuh part of your game day. Conecuh Sausage, since 1947, a real winner.
Final full segment, final interview segment of the Tiger Tailgate Show. We remind you that everyone's a winner with the Jax app. Just, every time you order your handmade favorites, you'll earn big points. That's the way it works. It's the app that loves you back with daily deals and loads of delicious rewards. Download the Jax app today at eatatjax.com. TigerTailgate.com. Brad Law, Will Herring, and this is our second receiver of this hour on the Tiger Tailgate Show, and we talk it over with one of the most prolific receivers in Auburn history. Ryan Davis joins us now on the show. Ryan, good morning, War Eagle.
Good morning, War Eagle. How you doing?
We are doing great, and we're excited to talk to you. When you look back at your Auburn career, man, a couple of your biggest games came against Texas A&M. Let's start with 2017. You guys come here. You're either off of a bye week or off of a loss and make a statement here at Kyle Field. What do you remember about that season or that game?
Yeah, specifically that game, I remember coming off a bye week. And it was a game was going into the bye week, and we needed a win. And Coach Malzahn was preaching this all week: is get a win going into the bye, get a win going into the bye. And we know how crucial it was an SEC game that we needed big time on the road. And it was exactly 12 o'clock, just exactly like this game. And so we went in there to a hostile environment. And the offense, we were kind of moving slow at first. And we got it going, and then we had a big play about the special teams with a block punt. And after that play, it's like kind of set like the fireworks for the team. And it's just like we just took off. It was just a great day. Like Darius Slayton had a great day. Kerryon Johnson, really, he ran his butt off that day. Like he just could not be stopped. He ran like a madman that day. The offensive line was mauling guys. Like everything we just seen that game. Everybody was playing together like all three phases. Jared Stidham had a great day. The run game was going with Kim Martin. The defense is playing lights out. So it's something about every time we play that Kyle Field, we always play that our best. And we just always did great and played on all three phases very well. So I feel like we do the same thing today. Come out hot, come out fire, don't come out slow. Quiet that crowd early. I feel like we can get them out the way, but it's not going to be as easy said, though.
No question about it. The following year, Ryan, it was a very different kind of game, the way that it played out. But you guys won with some late fireworks, and you were a part of a couple of fourth-quarter scores that flipped that game from a pretty desperate-looking situation to a very happy one when it was all said and done. What do you remember about the 2018 game?
Oh, so the 2018 was definitely a different dynamic because we were just not playing offensively. We were just so flat the first half. We just couldn't get it going. And we were putting the defense in tough positions, but they were holding on. They were holding on, and we get to halftime, and we just were not happy with our performance at all. Like, Coach Malzahn was like, everybody, not even just him, but everybody was just in disappointment with how we were playing. And then we were talking during halftime saying, like, this is going to be a different half. We're going to come out second half firing and playing way different. Like, we were just not. Like, plus, you know how the season was going to 18 as it is. It wasn't really going as well. And, like, we kind of had a bad taste in our mouth. We had lost to Tennessee and teams we should have lost that year. LSU in a close game. So it's like that game was very important for us during that season and my senior year.
Ryan, Will Herring here. I play the defensive side of the ball. So talk about just the offensive mentality and mindset, the confidence, and the importance of getting the ball early, making plays, building that confidence from a receiver's mindset. You know, we've got weapons in Fairweather. Jay Fair's had a good year. We brought in Shane Hooks, but getting a catch early, basically knocking the cobwebs off, and just having that mindset that, hey, whoever lines up against me, they cannot cover me.
Right, that's very important for, I feel like definitely athletes that love having the ball in their hands, especially your playmakers. Getting them going early, sets the tone for your team, especially for your offense. You know, get the guys going, because you know you have some guys that like to wait till somebody else make a play, then they're like, then they want to get into the game. But then it's got your playmakers that set your offense, get your offense going. That it's important to get them the ball early, because you don't want to get them going too late, and then when it is too late, you get them going. It's too late.
The clock's running out, right.
Right. So I feel like as long as we get those guys ball going early, even if we get it to them in spades, 7 streams, get them confident catches to get them going. You know what I mean? I feel like if we could do those things and even take shots down the field and let them make plays, you know what I'm saying, one-on-one opportunities and let guys just go up and make plays.
We will be watching that today. Ryan, we are out of time. We thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the game today. Best to you down the road, and War Eagle.
War Eagle, buddy.
War Eagle, thank you.
All right, Ryan Davis, one of the best receivers, again, prolific from a numbers perspective, Auburn's top receiver in its history. That's going to wrap up this portion of the Tiger Tailgate Show presented by Conecuh Sausage. Thanks to our guests, Chris Heacox from the Gouge Performing Arts Center, along with former Tiger standout Sammie Coates, Ryan Davis, Benji Roland, and Spencer Johnson. Now stay tuned for the Outdoor Alabama Countdown to Kickoff, featuring more matchup analysis, interviews, and more. Still one more 2-minute drill. We'll check scores. Thank you for listening to the Tiger Tailgate Show.
Hey, I'm Charles Barkley. Call for a Redmont and water at bars and restaurants throughout the great state of Alabama. Redmont Vodka, available at select ABC stores and package stores. Redmont Vodka is 8 times distilled, gluten-free, and is made from non-GMO corn. Looking to support a local business? Redmont Distilling is Alabama proud and minority owned. Learn more online at redmontdistilling.com.
Some people just know that a perfect football field is all about the details. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate. Take the head groundskeeper, for example.
Hands at 10 and 2. 90-degree turns, perfect stripes every time.
He knows, because he's done this 100 times. Just like he knows that paying attention on the road can save safe drivers 40% with Allstate.
Saving 40% is based on the national average premium savings for Allstate auto customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and based on how you buy. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The game has changed, and the future of Auburn athletics now demands a strong NIL program. I'm Jason Campbell. Let's come together, Auburn family, and make a lasting impact. Visit OnToVictory.com. Every dollar you contribute to On to Victory helps create NIL opportunities for our student athletes. Visit www.ontovictory.com and be a part of changing the game for Auburn athletics.
Hey parents and kids, it's a perfect time for students to read their way to the Iron Bowl in AEA's Be a Champion and Read contest.
AEA wants to help K through 6th grade students to be academic champions, just like the Auburn Tigers.
Students who participate in the Be a Champion and Read challenge could win 3 tickets to the Iron Bowl and a chance to take the field on game day. Ask your teacher about contest rules.
Encourage your child to be an AEA champion reader and win a trip to the Iron Bowl.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
All right, before Will Herring and I talk some X's and O's, we're going to check scores of games that were played last night across college football. Wisconsin beat Purdue 38-17. NC State eked out a win at Virginia 24-21. A field goal as time expired. Virginia with 3 15-yard penalties in the last few seconds. Boise State edged San Diego State 34-31. And Air Force ran up all over San Jose State 45-20. All right, Will Herring. Let's talk a little more X's and O's here in this game, and let's talk special teams. We haven't talked a lot of special teams, but Texas A&M gave up a kick return for a touchdown against Miami. Their kick coverage has been, I think it's fair to say, suspect.
Yeah.
Brian Battie could be one of those factors, one of the X factors in this game for Auburn.
Yeah, Brad, you just hit the nail on the head. Tanner Burns, our special teams coordinator, has done a tremendous job flipping, the special teams unit, flipping the field at times, taking advantage of some low punts and getting north. Now, it was musical chairs last week due to injury, due to some drop punts. So right now we don't know who that guy is going to be back there.
Yeah.
But on a kickoff return standpoint, bringing in Battie, I mean, he was brought in here. That was one of his main strengths coming in. And so look for him, look for this special teams unit on that kickoff return phase to try to establish good field position. They're an aggressive unit. A lot of teams go into the game more playing not to lose. This is not that type of team. They play to win the field position game through part of that being through the special teams phase.
Yeah, a couple of extra first downs on a kick return could be a big difference for this offense today. All right, that'll wrap things up for the Tiger Tailgate Show. This is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfly.
Earn more on your balances with the Max Elevate Money Market. Enjoy the competitive rate benefits of certificate accounts with no fixed terms and more flexibility. Earn more on your balances and access them anytime. You expect more, and Max delivers. See our amazing rates at mymax.com/elevate. Max. Smart money made simple. Federally insured by NCUA. Certain restrictions apply.
Fine dining meets Southern comfort at Vintage 2298, Auburn's newest fine dining restaurant and butcher shop. Chef Randall Baldwin and wife Laura present Gulf cuisine with a Southern flair, made fresh farm to table. Seasonal meats, cheeses, wine, and handcrafted cocktails available next door at the butcher shop. Manager Stephen Jacobs and staff bring a new level of service to local dining at Vintage 2298. Private dining and event space available, as well as awesome tailgate packages found in the butcher shop. Experience Vintage 2298.
Southeastern Industrial Contractors offers the path to a productive and successful career for hard workers of all ages, especially young people looking to jump straight into the workforce. Southeastern Industrial Contractors is now hiring for great-paying skilled trade positions. Managing partner Derek Harville is a proud Auburn University graduate with deep roots in the community. Give him a call at 334-209-6355 to learn more. Southeastern Industrial Contractors, 334-209-6355.
Life isn't made for joint or orthopedic pain. It's made for living, for family, for your favorite hobbies, for sports, for morning walks and afternoon playing in the park. If you suffer from joint or orthopedic pain, turn to the experts at the Orthopedic Clinic. Our board-certified surgeons provide cutting-edge surgical procedures and high-quality, innovative services all close to home. Don't let joint or orthopedic pain keep you from doing all the things you love. Visit theorthoclinic.com and schedule an appointment today.
A lot of guys are excited, and we're ready for SEC play. I think that, we've been progressively getting better every week, and I think we're all excited that we're finally starting the real thing.
Horn's going to run it. He's at the 2. He's in!
I definitely think that our confidence is moving in the correct direction.
Particularly if we can take care of the ball, we've got to continue to work on that. But, turnovers would play a huge role if we could pick off a few of those in this game.
Pick off Jalen Simpson, his third pick in as many games.
No matter who I'm out there with, I'm comfortable. Continue and build off playing time that they finally getting now and build off of it for SEC play.
Let's just be really clear. We're getting ready to play 3 teams that have, over the last 4 to 5 years, ranked in the top 7 to 5 in recruiting. There's a reason they're third in the nation on third down defense is they've got a bunch of 5 stars in the defensive line and that linebacker and that safety and that corner. I mean, they're really, really talented. Counting down to Auburn football. This is the Outdoor Alabama Countdown to Kickoff. With nearly 1 million acres of public hunting land and abundant saltwater and freshwater fishing opportunities, OutdoorAlabama.com is your gateway to the outdoors. Visit OutdoorAlabama.com to find your next adventure. Go hunt, go fish, get outdoors. Coming up, interviews with players and assistant coaches as we break down the matchups. Plus, a look around the SEC and our exclusive pregame visit with head coach Hugh Freeze. Alongside standout Auburn and NFL quarterback Jason Campbell, here's the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham.
And we welcome you back to Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. Currently in College Station, 84 degrees. By the time this game ends, 97, 98 degrees today as the Auburn Tigers and the Texas A&M Aggies prepare for their SEC openers. Along with